Hello FlossTube, my name is Mary. I'm a stitcher for more than 40 plus years, and I thought I would try my hand at FlossTube. Just been inspired by everybody that I have seen doing it, and thought I'd try it on my own. Just a warning, I'm not a fan of having my picture taken, so doing this on video is kind of daunting for me, but I will promise I'll try and do my best and see what happens. So a little bit about me. I'm in my upper 50s. I live with my mother and have for the past 9 years. She's 86. She just turned 86, and we share a house. It's her house. I lost my last really long-term job. I was there for over 21 years, and they went belly up because of the economy at the time, and I moved back home to kind of keep track of her. She keeps track of me, and we watch out for each other, but her space is upstairs, and mine, as you can probably tell, is in the basement. So that's where I do most of my stitching and where I spend most of my time when I'm not at work. We have separate spaces, which allows us to get along pretty well, and I can hear what's going on up there, so if she does happen to fall, which has happened a couple times, and since I've been here, I know it right away, so I can get upstairs. So as you can probably tell by the background for me here, that's back here, I am a cat person. I currently have a kitty on my lap. She was laying on the back of the chair, but she decided she was awake and wanted to check out more. So you might see her ears pop up every once in a while. I can try and introduce you to her now. This is Darcy. She is a rescue. She's 8 years old. She is a tortoise shell, and I just absolutely adore her. She is so sweet. Her big brother Colton lives upstairs most of the time. He ventures down occasionally. Their litter box is down here, so they are down here every once in a while. He's down here every once in a while, but he tends to stay upstairs with my mother, so which is fine, although he's a 17-pound cat, so it's kind of hard for her to pick him up, but he likes to sleep in her lap, so he's a nice lap warmer for her. I have been, as I said, I've been stitching for over 40 plus years, and taught to do embroidery back in the day by my mother and my paternal grandmother. They both did amazing stitching, and until a few years ago my mother still did it. Her fingers don't work as well as she would like them to now, so she doesn't do it very much, but every once in a while I'll go upstairs and she'll be knitting another dishcloth, so whatever she can do to get her fingers moving is a good thing. The oldest piece I have, I believe, was an embroidery kit. It's got my age of 8 on it, so that's about 50 years ago. Yeah, it was it was okay. It was not the best, but you know, your first piece, you just never know what you're going to do. I've been stitching, cross stitching since I was about 13. I did a thank you gift for some friends who were watching me. My parents took a quick trip to visit one of my brothers and his wife and their brand new baby, so I made it for that, and I've been kind of hooked on it since then. I really very rarely do printed or stamped embroidery anymore. I had a few kits that I wanted to do, and I did go ahead and finish those, and I might show those to you eventually. They're a lot better than they were when I was younger, and I did a much neater, cleaner job on them. So, but believe it or not, I actually found that kit. It was, as I said, it was purchased back in the mid-70s or so at a shop, a stitchery shop that we had in town. It's long since been gone, but I did actually find the kit and its companion kits probably still 15 plus years ago, and I went ahead and bought them so I can actually show you what my first project was. I don't have the actual project anymore. It was a Sunset counter cross stitch, and doesn't have a copyright date on here, so I can't tell you when it was out, but it would have been the mid 70s, and it was the spring of the spring circle that I did. I used the whatever was in the kit for it, and which would have been 14 count Aida. And but I hope to do that one and its companions. Not sure what how I'm gonna do them. I haven't decided quite yet. Whether it's going to be a bell pull, so they're all on one long strip, or if I do them in fours, the four of them on one piece, and then when I get them framed, I'll frame each one using a mat. So they're all separate, but just so you can see what they are, there is the summer one with the summer field in the barn. There's the fall one with the pretty leaves. And there is the winter one with a wonderful covered bridge. So these are the four all together. If I can get them so you can see them all. So there they are. Well, these two are backwards. There we go. So those are, that's them right there. Sorry, I'm still getting used to my the thing on the video, the webcam. It's foreign to me. So, but those are the original kits. The one with the one, this one here with the little church in the meadow was the very first cut across stitch piece that I did. So, and as I said, I was thrilled that I was able to find those because I always thought it was so pretty. So, okay, things I work on. I kind of am eclectic. I like a lot of different things. I'm particularly partial to seasonal things. I do like doing 4-season pieces, and I do have one that I'm going to show you. But I like the holidays. I like cute and cuddly. I like the serious stuff. I do some sampler work, a little bit of everything, which makes it interesting. I like, and of course, obviously, I do a lot of cat stuff, so that kind of goes without saying. Anyway, so to get started with some things that I recently finished, I will give you an idea. This was finished back in April. It was a piece that I did it was actually a freebie that Brooke's Books brought back. Brooke's Books Publishing. Brooke's Book Publishing. It was an older design, and she had brought it back as a freebie. It's called Easter Bonnet, and it's so adorable. It's got these adorable creatures on it. The bird, the bird, the little blue bird, the snail with a hat, the bug with a hat, ladybug with a hat, and the chick with the pretty Easter bonnet. So let's see if I can get that in so you can see. Isn't she cute? She's so sweet. This was done on, where is it here? It's done on 28 count, called Delicate Teal Jobelan, and it's got Mill Hill beads on it, and yeah, Mill Hill beads, and then it's DMC for the floss. But it's so colorful. It just looks so perfect for Easter. I fell in love with that pattern. And it was a lot of fun to stitch because the colors are so bright. So that was back in April that I finished that. I also found when Frank Bialik passed away earlier this year, Mosey and me, I was lucky enough to get to meet him. And I was at a needlework show. The annual needlework show in February in Nashville. I was lucky enough to accompany one of my friends who is a designer. She wasn't designing at the time, but she did own a shop. So she was nice enough to invite me, and I took time off work, and I went, and I just had a total wonderful weekend, totally absorbed in cross-stitch stuff. But Mosey and me was there, and I got to meet Frank Bialik. Very nice man, just like he appeared, you know, when you saw him on TV or whatever. He just very, very nice man. And when I found out that he had passed away unexpectedly this year, I wanted to do a tribute piece for him. So I found this Mosey and me piece. It's called Purrrfect, and it is on a light pink, probably 36 count fabric. And I used DMC, and it had this pretty little gold charm, heart charm for on the collar for the cat. So I did put his initials on it as well as a tribute, just because that's what it was. I originally made it for. I had it in my stash pile to do, and just it kind of poked me in the right direction when he passed to do it, and it's absolutely adorable. And of course, it's a cat. So I can't help that. I'm just totally crazy about cats. So another set that I've done, this is a set, and I will be doing more of these because I've purchased I think I purchased all of them at this point. It's the Waxing Moons House Trios, and the first one that I bought was Halloween because I love to stitch Halloween stuff, and I plan on making these into flat folds. I do have the fabric, which I will show you, and the trim, which are the mini pom-pom things that I really like, but I wanted to show all three of them here. So here is the Halloween one. It's on a toasted almond colored fabric. I don't believe that's the name of it. It's slightly different from the other two, partly because I didn't have enough of this to do all of them, and I figured since this was going to be the centerpiece, I could do this one on a slightly different color, but it's very close to the original color. Just love the ghosts coming out of the house there at the top. They're a lot of fun to stitch, and they actually stitch up pretty fast. So that's the Halloween one, and then the Tricks one, which both of these I stitched last year. I had to finish a couple of stockings, which I'll discuss shortly, but there's that one. This one is on Toasted Almond linen, and I used the DMC threads, and I think they use GAST. I'm not really sure, but I'll double check that and make sure that that information is posted with the video. So there's that one, and this one I just finished. This is Treats, and you see the little ghost post peeking out of the corner, around the corner of the house. I just love that. I think that's very cute. So yeah, so those three were done, and as I said, I'm going to do those as flat fold stand-ups, and I found this wonderful little orange polka dots on black fabric from Joann's that goes wonderfully with the pieces, and then I have orange and white mini pom-pom trim to use on those. So looking forward to doing those. I think I'm going to work on those before the end of this month so I can have them out for October with them, all of that stuff. So put that aside. Okay, now, so another finish that I recently did, I talked about stockings. I did stockings when my nieces and nephews, I have 7 of them, were growing up, and they each got their own stocking. Sorry, we're keeping you awake, Darcy. So I did stockings individually for each of them, and when the first great nephew was born, his father asked me, Aunt Mary, will you please make a stocking for Caleb? And so I thought, okay, well, I'll do that. Now, theirs were very individualized that I did, but I decided to do pre-made ones, or kits ones. I kind of took mishmashes of different designs to put together for theirs. So I decided to do kits or completely already made designs for them. So I have already done 14 of them. I have 15 in the hoops right now, and I have the last one that I will do next year for Arizona. She was born in 2019 in August, the end of August, and so she will get hers before most of the others. I even thought about doing theirs. They just kept having them so fast that I couldn't keep up. So the ones that I'm doing now are for five-year-olds. So the one I'm going to show you for Kyrie, she's 5 and in kindergarten this year, and Oliver is I think he is 5 if he hasn't already turned 5, so he's the one I'm working on. So let me show you Ari's, or for Kyrie. This is a Dimensions kit. It is called Polar Bear Friends, or polar bear play. I don't remember exactly what it's called, but it was a dimensions kit, and I purchased fabric for it rather than using what was in the package, because as usual they didn't leave enough extra around the edges. I think there was only an inch around it, which is pretty much the standard for what I've seen. So you know, maybe we need to start a campaign to these kit makers that they need to think a little bit more about the designers, or about the stitchers, and make sure there's more fabric around the edges, so because not everybody stitches in hand, especially big pieces. So but anyway, so this was, as I said, it is a dimensions kit, and it is light aqua, 14 count light aqua Aida. I've stitched all of them on Aida because I think they hold up a little bit better, and they're a little bit more tougher to deal with than the linen. I think they will last a little bit longer if they're done on linen, just my personal opinion. I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, so, and this is DMC. I always go to a conversion that I have for DMC for the kits, and switch over to the DMC rather than using the floss in the kit. I just know where my DMC came from, and I don't know what the floss in the kit's been through, so just personal preference for me. I know that's not everybody does that. One thing that should be noted, if you look for this kit and you want to get fabric for it, make sure you buy the light aqua Aida, not what it says in the kit. They call it light blue, and it's not light blue. If you see the kit, the fabric that's in the kit, you will know that it is actually this light aqua and not Aida, or not the light blue that they call for, or that they have on the packaging. So those are fairly recent finishes. I think the treats one I did is probably the most latest. So from there, let me go to some of the things that I am currently working on, including Ollie Stocking, which is number 15. Ollie Stocking is also a dimension kit that I replaced the fabric in, and I have just finished the top part of it. So now I've got, so it's off the hoops, off the Q-snaps, and I can easily show it to you. So I apologize for the folds, but this is Dimensions kit. There we go, right angle. This is a Dimensions kit called Santa Sidecar. You can see Oliver's name at the top. That's all half stitches in the background. Made it, it's kind of modeled a little bit, so there was two colors that you were doing half stitches on, but once I got the main color, or the one color done, it was just a fill in for the other, so that made it go pretty quick. There's a lot of outlining on this, as you can see. I don't mind it so much. I think a lot of pieces, it brings them to life, and I know some stitchers don't care for it, but it doesn't bother me. I enjoy doing that. So we've got Santa's head, and right in front of him, at the bottom of his beard, is the headlight on the motorcycle, and the antlers that you see there underneath the one blue stocking are belong to the reindeer who's in the sidecar. So it's a fun stocking. Ollie is a bright little boy, very busy little boy, and he's kind of all over. So this stocking fits perfectly with him. I showed the pattern to his mother and his father, and they said, "Oh, Aunt Mary, that's perfect." So I'm glad I picked it, and let me show you the full stocking. You can see what it looks like. So there you go. So as you can see, there's the, my fingers aren't working right. There's the reindeer in the sidecar. So as you can see, I've got the top half is more than half of it's done. So and it's not a lot of seed stitching, so it's a lot of solid colors, so it's actually going a lot faster than I expected it to. A lot of the blue here, this is all half stitches, so it'll go fast to fill in. So it does have a lot of French knots in it, which is not my favorite thing to do, but you know, after you do so many of them, they start to work easier. So I know that's true probably for a lot of us. So that is that one. And then I have two very old pieces that I did. I started doing them in 2010. At the beginning of the year, I decided I wanted to do a 30 starts with 30 days and then see how many. Well, I picked a lot of large pieces, which didn't make a lot of sense. And 9 days into the year, I broke my thumb, and I was in a cast for part of that time because I had to have surgery and in a brace. So, but I still managed to figure out how to stitch, of course. All of us do. It's that type of issue. But I did manage to continue, and a lot of them are done. I've got about 6 of them that are not, and they're ones that I'm kind of working on now, little by little, to get finished. And one of those is called, not sure, I think this is Nature Gives. Yes, this is Nature Gives. This is a 4 Seasons piece that I fell in love with. It was a kit, and it's very, very pretty. I love the colors in it. Find the right angle, so let's go this way. There we go. Again, sorry, I'm not used to using a webcam, so I'm still trying to figure out angles. So that is that's this pretty stitch. I know. I did switch out the Aida. I'm doing it on linen, and it's 40 count linen because it's a fairly big piece, and I didn't want a huge piece. This is where I'm at on it. I just last week I finished the stitching on the top section, the spring section, and I just started doing the outlining. I just did the grass outlining, so you see on the hills over here, this up here and that. So I'm gonna, when I pick this up this week or next weekend, I will be working on that. I am a center stitcher, center start stitcher, so that's why this is started here. The summer one is started so that I could get it, and then I decided to start up at the top instead of filling that one in first. So, so we've got a gazebo and some flowers, parts of the flowers, and there's a lake along here underneath here with sailboats and stuff on it. It's going to be really fun to stitch, and as I said, I do really enjoy doing 4 season pieces, and this is one that I'm especially enjoying working on again. I'm glad I picked it up again to start on. So, and a shout out to my friend Carol on Only One You. If it weren't for her deciding to pull out a really old piece of hers, this one probably still would have been in my basket of forgotten pieces, because I had a lot of those. I am slowly starting to work on them again, and it just reminded me how much I enjoy working on these bigger pieces, even though they're time consuming. But every once in a while I'll throw in a quick and easy one to do, so it gets done quicker. So another one of those that I started during that time, as you can see, this is where I stitch. All my stuff is here. Makes it nice and easy to get to. Is a piece. It's a Janlynn kit called Cats. There's a couple of charts called Cats, but this is a particular one from Janlynn. They are not similar at all. If you're looking for this one, the information will be down below. More than likely, it's from 2004, so you probably will only find it on eBay or maybe in one of the Facebook cross-stitch sales pages. You might be able to find it, but this is this one. Just love all the detail on it, the cat eyes in the center there, and everything. Now I have the top half of this done, and actually part of the bottom done. I'm working on the middle part right here. These 2 on each side are already done, so once this is done, then I'll work on the cats on the bottom. And let me show you where that one is. This is also being done on 40 count linen, white linen. I apologize for the fold in the fabric. Bring it back a little bit so you can see it. Now, because I'm working on 40 count, this had some combined colors, 2 colors together, that what I decided to do on this one, instead of adding that extra thickness on the fabric with 2 colors. I picked the predominant color that showed in the picture, and that's what I'm working with, and it hasn't detracted from it at all. So, which I'm quite happy for. So, looks like I'm about ready to. I was working on the pieces alongside that frame, so that's where I'll start on it when I pick it up again. So that was number 2 from that 30-day start. And I have one other one. Put this back. This one is not the one I'm looking for. Hold on one moment. Here it is. This is by Primrose Needleworks. It's called Kitty Corners, or Catty Corners. They evidently did several of these that were like this, that were this type of puzzle, the word puzzle, and with different themes. So this obviously is the cat one for various reasons. And I am working on the outside. I have all of the squares done on the inside and working on the border around the outside, because what I plan on doing is my own version of the words inside. Obviously I'm still going to do the ones on the corners, the Tomcat and the catalog and cat toys and that kind of stuff, but I wanted this to be a little bit more cats. It's not as much in here. If you can see, there's words that don't really have anything to do with cats, so I want to have actually more of those in my version. So we'll see how that works. That's going to take some time planning it out, but hopefully in one of these updates I will actually be working on that. So this is 36 count legacy linen, and it uses DMC colors, so it makes it very quick to stitch. And I can't really see what I'm doing here, so let's see if I can make sure I've got that. Hopefully it's in there right. As you can see, I'm pretty close to getting the outside edge done, so once that's done, then I'll start concentrating on the words, but so I have a little bit of time yet. So but yeah, it's a, whoops, very strong one. That one has been fun to work on, especially now that the center part's done. All the lines are all set up, so when I'm ready to fill in the words, it'll make things a lot easier. So those are current works in progress that I've been working on for a while. I will show you my newest start, which is the Little House Needleworks Kringles. I haven't worked on it for very long. It took me a while to get the fabric, or the floss. The hardest part was the Kreinik, trying to get that, but I have that now, and I am working on 40 count fabric, so I'm only using 1 thread, so I'm kind of hoping I will have enough floss to get along with it. It calls for large quantities of floss, so I'm hoping by doing it on the 40 count with just 1 thread over 2, it will last a little bit longer. So as you can see, I'm working on the roof, and I originally had thought that I was going to take the roof all the way across and then start working on the rooms, but I decided I'm going to go by page, and so the first page stops about halfway through this particular window, the one on that side, and so I've got that finished, and I will be working on trying to get that out of the way there. I just started working on the bricks underneath this far side, so I can do the nutcracker room, which is really cool because I collect nutcrackers. So anyway, so that is my current place on that. Very happy with the way it's turning out. I like the coloring in the roof, but I'm ready to work on some brighter colors because those are fairly dull, and it's getting tedious. But I only work on that on weekends. I'm working on Ollie Stocking during the week, so that I can get it done. I want to have it done by the end of this next month, so that I have November to get his and Kyrie's made up into stockings and get them out. Kyrie's is local, but actually these are both local. The last one I'll be doing is for Arizona, and as I said, she was just born in 2019, so She'll be 2 when she has her stocking, which is earlier than most of the other ones. Hello, Darcy, getting into her spot. And I have one other one that I plan on doing. It's a replacement for actually Arizona's older sister. Hers got lost, so I don't want her to be the only one who doesn't have hers, so I will do hers. I still have a pattern. It's one of the cooler design studio patterns. So I can do that one again for her, and the finishing won't be as neat because my mom used to do them, but with her fingers not working as well, I have taken over making the stockings into stockings, so it's an experience for me. I'm not a big fan of sewing. I took it in 4-H, like a lot of girls in the Midwest here, but not my favorite thing to do, but I'm getting better at it every time, so I guess it's a good thing that I'm practicing on these stockings and getting them done. So to finish out, I want to show you something that I do have framed. It is another old piece that I've been hanging on to for a long time. I have an entire drawer of things that need to be framed, but thankfully we just recently had a new business open in town. Here in town, I live in a small town in the Midwest, and it's a fairly recent a fella who, Tony, who does this wonderful framing. He has a great eye, and he knows, he introduced me to some things that I never even thought about for framing, so yeah, I'm very grateful, and you'll see some of his frames in some new videos that I post, because most of the stuff that I have framed he has done now, which isn't a lot, unfortunately. Framing is so expensive, but he's very wonderful and is allowing me to pay him little by little so I can get things framed, and be glad that they're framed, because as I said, I've got a lot to do, and not everything can be made into a flat fold or put into a small frame and be happy with it. So anyway, so this is Teresa Wentzler's original dragon pattern from the 80s that was redone recently, but it's done on 18 count cream Aida, and with all the glorious colors and combo colors that she had. And as you can see, Tony found this amazing frame that looks like dragon scales. He saw this picture as I was showing him some of the things I wanted to frame, and he says, "Oh, let me do that one. I have the perfect frame for it." So he brought it out, and I was just dumbfounded, and it just looks so perfect for this frame. And I am happy that I was able to show that to you, because he does a beautiful job, and I trust him with my needlework. It's fairly new to him to do needlework, but he has gotten very enthusiastic about it, and I'm very glad that he's enjoying doing stitching, or doing my stitching in such beautiful frames. So that's kind of it for me. I appreciate you sticking with me through the full end. As I said prior, I'm not a person who likes to have her picture taken, so doing things on video is a little wobbly for me, but I hope you've enjoyed what I've presented to you, and I will make sure that I have information and a link to my web picture trail album that has my finishes and everything in it. So you can check out and see what I've done. So hopefully I'll see you in a week. I hope to do these on the weekends and keep you updated in what I do. It might be 1 week, might be 2 weeks, but I'll try not to do more than 2 weeks in between, so we can stay acquainted. So thanks again, and I hope you enjoyed, and I look forward to watching some more of yours. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.